What's going on, everybody? This is Travis from Carter Cow Capital, helping you fight for your financial freedom throughout the forex market. I hope everybody's doing very well on this Thursday evening. Hopefully, everybody ended up having a very good trading day. As I stated before earlier this morning, I said that more than likely I probably wasn't going to end up taking any trades today just because of how violent the movement actually was, and that remained to be true today. So. Uh, Overall, today was a very slow day based off of what ended up happening compared to what ended up happening the day before with the market moving over 1,500 points. So, about 1,200 points. So, hopefully everybody end up having a good day if you did end up trading. But let's go ahead and go through the disclaimer. Let's get this over with very quickly. This will be the last session that we will do this week, as we typically don't do anything. Well, we typically do stuff on Friday, but I'm just not going to end up doing anything tomorrow. Got a couple things that I have to be able to take care of. So uh, this will be the last session for this week. So let's go ahead and get started. I'm not a CTA, so I'm not going to tell you whether to buy or to sell. What I'm going to do is teach you education, and from that education, you can be able to make your own informed decision. I understand that trading involves risk. It involves risk of being able to make money, also involves risk of being able to lose money. So please keep that in mind. And understand that past performance is not indicative of future results, which means that if you end up making money yesterday, it's not promised that you can end up making money today. So with that being said, as we go through, take a look at the charts and being able to get quick examples. What we do here in the night session, if this is your first time, essentially what we end up doing is taking a look at the trading pairs that we end up taking trades off of. Or if we did not take a trade, we take a look and see if there's any type of game plan that we can be able to have established going into tomorrow's trading. So overall, let's take a look at the economic calendar. Do me a favor real quick. If you've been a part of us and doing everything else like that, we're a growing community. We're definitely really starting to build, especially since the summertime. We done went from literally, I want to say about 50 people to almost 650 at this particular point. We're on the road to 1,000. If you're interested in being able to learn a little bit more about what we do and get inside of a trading community that's all it's trying to do is being able to create income, being able to teach you great stuff when it comes down to trading, and also try to celebrate your wins. Make sure that you end up clicking on that boost button. Make sure that you end up clicking on that sub button. And also support everything else that I have. Down at the bottom of my page, you end up seeing Twitter, YouTube, Facebook, and Instagram. Really would like to start getting the red brand up a little bit more. Quite frankly, those numbers haven't moved in a while. So if you're interested in being able to learn a little bit more about that and what I'm going to do with that, how it's going to tie to the Discord, please make sure that you end up subscribing to that, as we'll end up putting in some other exclusive stuff with that overall page. All right. So with that being said, earlier today, what ended up happening? Initial jobless claims ended up coming out, ended up being 216,000. A little bit better than what was previously placed in, but it was still a non-factor when it came down to news. The pound ended up having their interest rate decision. They ended up raising their rate up to 2.25 compared to 1.75, and that ended up affecting the pound to the overall downside when it came down to movement. We'll take a look at certain pairs that we were paying attention to, like pound yen and pound United States dollar, to see how the market actually ended up moving from there. Remember, I said that even though I was interested in being able to take a look at those, I did not take any trades today when it came down to those pairs. So just keep that in mind. For the people that did, if you are live, make sure that you end up chatting those up or talk about those. May end up having some type of potential pair so we can be able to take a look at. All right, but going into tomorrow, what we're going to end up having is composite PMIs from Germany. We're going to end up having a composite PMI just from the Eurozone by itself, and then after that, retail sales with the Canadian dollar. Now, one thing about the Canadian dollar, and Chair Powell is going to end up speaking at 2 p.m. I don't know. I don't know what that's going to end up being for. Let me see. He's going to speak at 2 p.m. But that's kind of weird to be able to do it on a Friday. So I am kind of interested to be able to see how that's going to end up going. Remember, typically when he talks, the market moves. So for some reason, it's not allowing me to be able to click onto that. Let me refresh this page and see if I can be able to get more information off that. Okay, it won't even. Okay, so what is it going to talk about? Okay, well, he's going to speak at 2 o'clock. I'll probably be long gone when it comes down to the market for those moves. But either way, All right, so we have that. We have that in mind. Let's take a look at the big three real quick. We'll take a look at the forex pairs, and after that, we'll get into the indices. I have a couple of trades that are kind of lined up for pending orders based off of the Vortex strategy. If you're interested in learning a little bit more about the Vortex strategy, send me a private message. Essentially, that has been the thing that I have been talking about pretty much all summer, and has led to a lot of profit. A lot of profit compared to previous strategies that I have used. This is my number one go-to strategy. We talk about it. We talk about it somewhat a lot. I think I talk about it sometimes almost too much, but there's a lot of different strategies that's kind of built upon it. And if you're interested in being able to learn a little bit more, we'll talk about that. All right, so uh, here we go. United States dollar index. Let's get into that real quick, and we'll kind of see how everything else kind of played out. United States dollar index, from a weekly perspective, the market is bullish. Ended up hitting very close to a D extension at 13,512. Market has broken out of that consolidation to the upside, so the market is considered to be clearly bullish. Since then, when the market ended up breaking out, it ended up having a retest of this overall area. The stochastic is at 71%, but typically when the market is in a small consolidation, it truly doesn't matter when it comes down to that spot. There's a true breakout. The market's in an R3 position, and we're going up in this upward channel that will give us an opportunity to keep on having the market keep on pushing up. So essentially, what ended up happening was that I'm guessing when was this? That must have been the news from yesterday. Uh, yeah, that was the news from yesterday. Market ended up pushing out of it, broke out, settled above the actual resistance, trying to pass resistance into future support. We'll kind of see how the market kind of reacts going into the rest of tonight and hereafter to kind of keep on moving from there. From a daily perspective, the market has completed the D extension and it has not given a U-turn yet. I would expect that the market will give a U-turn, but if it keeps on popping up, we'll probably see that the market will find a little bit of a struggle at 13,454 before being able to push down because the market didn't make a solid retracement at all when it comes down to that movement. So, United States dollar tomorrow, not paying attention to it. Oil, we talked about how the market was in consolidation, kind of moving to the downside. I said I was interested in being able to get in at 84 at that particular point in time when I ended up looking at it. End up adjusting everything to 82.50. I'm going to talk about that in a quick second and explain why. But we're going through this downward channel. And as this market keeps on going down to this downward channel, there's a D extension at 77.11 that we have to be able to pay attention to. Taking a look at it based off of the 1 hour, we can see that the market has remained to be inside of this consolidation, which is very good. And that's the reason why I end up adjusting the overall trade to 82.50 as the area where I wanted to be able to get in for is being able to sell. As long as this market stays inside of this consolidation, I will not look at being able to trade. Uh, I might start consider looking at upside trades as this market is showing that it could have a chance of being able to break down. But typically, uh, when you end up having a block over a block, that means that the market will potentially end up falling down again. So there goes your block over a block. That's something that we end up talking about exclusively inside of the Vortex strategy. If you're interested in learning a little bit more about that, obviously. But we have this overall area that leads to this overall area, which is actually showing that we may end up having a very large consolidation block that we have to work off of. Meaning that October to me is probably going to be a large consolidation area, and once it breaks out, it's going to break out. It's going to break out with a large fury of overall movement. So just got to keep that in mind. But entry will be at 82.49. Stop loss will be at 87.08, or you can just say 87. Take profit will be at 77.11 for those overall positions. As long as the market does not give a movement from there, I'm not going to make a trade until the market breaks out of that overall area. Remember, when you're trading uh, breakouts like this, if you get stopped out because the market goes right back inside or you end up exiting early, it's very important to be able to readjust your overall trade and be able to place in a better trade based off of what a next area is on being able to fall. So that's what we have right there. No movement at this particular point in time, but I am paying attention to it. Last one, take a look at gold. So gold at this particular point, thought process is very simple. Same rules apply. looking at being able to get in at 1658. Got placed into a trade when the market ended up having the news and ended up getting stopped out of that market when the market basically bounced right back up. I still am looking to be able to sell on this overall position. I still think that the market could potentially end up doing that, but we have to um, keep under consideration that if the market pops up above 1681, then the market will be bullish again, and it will fall back inside of this large consolidation that I did not want to trade in the first place. So, something to be able to pay attention to. The United States dollar has not hit a D extension yet, so that still gives us some type of room to be able to say that uh, this market could potentially make a movement to the downside. I'm not holding my breath on when it's going to end up happening. I just know that I'll be ready to go if this market does fall down, whenever it falls down, with an order ready to go. So I'm going to go ahead and place that order in now because I got stopped out on the last time that we ended up doing this. So I'm going to place in a short. It's going to end up being a pending order. Pending order is going to be at 1658. Let's see, 1658.50. Stop loss is going to end up being at 1681. Let's see. And take profit will end up being at 1615.50. I'm going to say 1616 just for a round number. Because this order is where it is and the drop that it potentially could be able to make, this is very important to be able to take a look at previous history and say, okay, well, what has happened previously? Where this market could potentially go if it does fall out of this area? If it falls out of this area, this will be one of the biggest pushes that the market will potentially have. Typically, when you end up looking at a trade like that, you want to go a little bit more than 3% of your overall account, or at least that's my thought process. My max typically is 5 to 7. When you end up seeing moves like this, if we're going big fish hunting or big wave hunting, whatever you want to call it, I typically end up saying 5 to 7. So I'm gonna push it up to 5%, see how everything kind of plays out with this move. Once again, if the market kind of gets away from me, then obviously we'll get out of it. But I do like what I potentially see, and we'll take advantage of it if the market falls down to that area. And hopefully we don't have to pay attention to it. Hopefully it just does it while we go to sleep and we end up having that order and see new money inside of the account. All right, so there we go. Let's take a look at pound yen real quick. We talked about that one earlier. I talked about being able to take in a trade right around 159.50. Currently, right now, the market today has broken, or yesterday, ended up breaking out of that overall movement to the downside. But I did not place an order about where I wanted it to be able to go. So let's go to trading view. Let's take a look at what's happening with that and kind of give a better idea about what's going on with that movement. Pound yen. Huh. Oh, okay, I see it. Still doesn't make any sense. What is going on? Oh, okay. I got 159.54. That's the overall area that needs to be broken. That was based off of 159. Let's see. 159.54. This is where we are at this particular point in time. As you take a look at this from an hourly perspective, we can this market has been in consolidation for a very long time. If the market does break out of this overall area, then once again we could see a lot of force come from when it falls. Okay, I'm going to look at a lot of history to be able to get a number like this, and typically when I look at, okay, there we go. All right, so no, go back. Give me that. VJ, what's going on? Hope everything's going well with you. Everything's going well with me. Hopefully, you end up having a very good trading day today, or hopefully, you end up having a very good trading day when, obviously, with the non-farm payroll. All right, so take profit. I'm looking at anything when it comes down to this movement. Obviously, we got a short right here. It ended up being down to 156.85. So you can say 157 just to be safe. Uh, Move this over to the right hand side. Stop loss in this case, we'll go based off of the 15-minute. We'll see what's going on with that. I don't know why this data is acting very slow. Best thing that has happened, if I'm looking at this, I'm just being very honest, is that the market ended up building out another consolidation before it dropped. So that allows us to be able to know that stop loss has to be above that position in order to be considered to be able to have a trade. So uh, what I would look at being able to do if you're going to end up taking a trade on pound yen, I would end up saying I would like to be able to get in at 159.50 just for the sake of being able to have a even number. 159.50 stop loss will end up being above 160, 160.50. So you're talking about 100 pips for that one. Take profit will be 265 pips away. We got 156.85, but you can say 157 as a natural position to be able to get out. Now, here's the problem, and I'm going to say this now because I want to make sure everybody kind of understands. One, this market has been in consolidation for a very long time. So there's going to be a lot more people looking at being able to buy this compared to being able to sell. Uh, if this market truly, um, if this market truly breaks out or truly falls down to support and kind of pushes back up. Now, this is the first time that I've seen that this market has failed that low. Um, we're going to go back to previous history. First time I've seen the market fall that low since what ended up happening in August, and obviously what ended up happening in in early August when it came down to that movement. But both times the market actually ended up pushing up to the upside when that happened. So if this market does break, there's going to have to be some news that's going to end up truly affecting the market to keep it down at this particular point for us being able to get out. But obviously, take profit will end up being at 158. So that'll end up being, let's see, did I say 158 or 157? I'm sorry, 156. No, 157. So I don't know. I wouldn't go too high on the risk on this one. I'll probably go 3% when it comes down to this because there's still no guarantee that the market will truly break out of this area and have a big fall. But if it does break out and it does fall, that means that the Japanese yen is getting stronger. That also means that if we look at what's happening with gold, that means that the market will end up popping up to the upside and we'll never get a trade on gold if that does happen. So I'm going to leave this one up to you. That's your call to be able to make on being able to take that trade. I don't know if I'm going to end up taking this one. I'm going to have to think about this one a little bit if I want to be able to take it. But that is the game plan. And naturally, if it does fall, it will fall violently to the downside if it does break out of this vortex area. Tried it one time, could not stay. But if it breaks below, then I think that we got a huge runner on this move. Uh, and it might be worth it. Let's see. Uh, Gonna pull up the chart anyway. See how much I'll be risking if I want to be able to do this. The thing about pound yen is when it moves and it wants to move, it moves rapidly. And when the market gets very stagnant and slow, then it gets very stagnant and slow. There's no wraparound when it comes down to that. let's see. Let's see. I got 159.50. 159.50 will probably end up getting hit too easy. I'm gonna say 150. I'm gonna say 159.45. I needed to really prove that it's ready to kind of break out of this overall area. I'm gonna do that. I might as well just say 159.50, and then after that, have an alert if it pops back up. Okay, that's what I do. Um, so short. This will be an overnight one, so just keep that in mind. You may want to go ahead and place on a trail stop if that's the case. Uh, don't know don't know if the market's just gonna roar back up to the upside based off of that. Um, Stop loss is 160.50. Take profit. I've been trading lately. I'm just coming back from Monday. Can you tell me when you do your live stream timings? Um, yeah, absolutely. Typically, I go Monday through Friday in the morning until it end up being at 6:30 a.m. now because I'm back teaching now, so I'm actually inside of the school, uh, and that goes from 6:30 to about 7:05 ish, and then after that, obviously we do um, Wednesday, Monday through Friday at 9. Well, Monday through Thursday at 9. And we end up kicking off from there. Roger, what's going on? Hope everything's going well with you. How was your trading day? Today. Let's see. 157. We end up being a take profit. Once again, if you don't feel good about this one, don't risk too much. Uh, and obviously, if we look at previous history, you may end up seeing that the market may end up having a pop up to the upside. Block Connect, what's going on? Oh man, we getting some of the OGs back here, man. We getting some of the OGs back in. That's nice. There we go. Um, what indicator are you using for volume range profile? You said it. Take a look at indicators. You go to technicals, go to volume profile. If you have the paid version of it, you can go to visible range volume profile and be able to use it from there. Hopefully that helps. I like the session. I like the session one as well. The session one, I kind of keep on the other side to kind of see if there's like a fall area to be able to get into. So using both of them will allow you to be able to know, okay, well, if this market does fall in this area, we could have a big pop to the downside based off of that movement. Obviously, we done fell down in this small little area right now, and we say 159. We said 159.50. 159.50 is like right on the edge of if this market falls down to this downside as well. So, kind of coupling both of those together allows you to be able to get a better idea about what happens. But 159.50 is kind of the last line of defense when it comes down to this movement if it does fall. Okay, so hopefully that helped out. Uh, let's see. Once again, I'm not gonna end up risking too much on this one. I'll probably go 3% of the account as well. Um, no, I'm gonna go 2% of the account. I don't know if the market's gonna pop up like that, so I'm not gonna risk too much. I add on to it if it falls down. I just wish that kind of like what ended up happening a couple days ago that the market just once it gets inside of this area just goes, and we don't have that headache of what ended up happening uh, earlier before, where you have a big push and now you got to get out of it because the market. I mean, because um, what's the word I'm thinking? Volatility ends up popping in because people are just buying it. That's the reason why I place my stop loss above this consolidation. We'll see how it ends up playing out. If it doesn't take me in, then I'm fine with that. Then that just means the market is not ready yet. If it does, then hopefully we can see the market truly fall, and then after that, running from there. Trail stop if I'm doing anything, because we're going after, uh, because essentially we're going after 200 points. I'll probably end up making the trail stop 100 points, 100 pips, based off of that, and see how that kind of plays out. So if it goes 100 pips, it's going to be at break even, and then from there, you just let it ride out from there. Let's see. Da, 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 da. So I have placed that in, and that means that if it goes down, puts us in the profit, then if it goes down 100 pips, then we should be okay. All right, so let's go ahead and go through the indexes real quick. Most of y'all know that's my bread and butter. That's what pretty much I make most of my money at. Take a look at what's happening with US 30. US 30 fell inside of this vortex area that we ended up talking about a few days ago. The D extension or the take profit position has not hit yet. It's still at 29,840. Since then, the market has been into consolidation, which is a good thing, because obviously I would like for the market to be able to consolidate after moving over 1,000 points. Got entries at 30,000 with a take profit of 29,840. Stop loss on this one. What's the stop loss on this one? Stop loss on this one is at 3130 or 30,130. So it's another small risk to reward, but we end up going from there. Yes, Eastern time zone. But most of y'all I think I end up talking to. Block, did you catch this move? Did you catch US 30 yesterday? Did you catch US 30 at Nas 100 yesterday? I know a couple people did. Uh, I know my man Brian did. We ended up talking a little bit earlier, but I want to make sure that everybody ended up catching that one. But essentially, we got one last spot left. Trying to go after that position. Stop loss of 30,130. So 1 to 1.4 risk reward ratio. Not necessarily the greatest risk reward, but uh, trying to see what we can be able to get it. No, bro, only trade crypto. Good. I only trade setups. Uh, I could care less about if it's crypto or anything else like that, but I only trade setups. But I do like some of the setups that I end up getting based off of Bitcoin when they end up making that big drop from 29,000. Looked like from 29,000 all the way to what 17. End up catching it when it does from that. But I still learn from all your content. Appreciate that. Is there a crypto pair that you want to take a look at? Because today, obviously, we're just setting up trades. So there's no trade that I'm going to get into right now. All of them in consolidation. Nas, there's not much position left on this one, even though I believe that the market will fall. Obviously, if it falls, it's going to fall down to this large consolidation block that ended up happening in early June. So the support on that one is at 11,380. Currently, the market right now is 11,495. If it breaks below 11,450, then I have an order set up to be able to take a trade right there to the downside if that does happen. Let's see. I don't have the trade place in. But there is still a scalpable opportunity if the market ends up making this movement. So from here to there, the risk reward factor just got to make sense. And the risk reward factor does not make sense. It's a 1-to-1. Not taking that trade. Whether if it breaks and hit take profit or not, I think I'll make up for that off of US 30. US 30 has a better uh, amount of points that we can be able to go out there. I caught that XRP long up from 41. Nice. Any other pair that you're looking at? Any other pair at this particular point in time that you're looking at being able to get into? So Nas, nothing there. DAX, XVX 500, pretty much the same deals. XVX 500 is already gone. Take profit is already done off of that movement. Um, take a look at what's happening based off of the hour. Hurry up, computer. I don't know why my computer's acting slow today. Let's see. Nah, take profit has already been hit. Oh, that's German 40. DAX has already hit take profit. We did that yesterday. It's in consolidation again. It's already done went back in there. I'm all going to trade it for the most part. Just let them do their thing. I'm going to be honest too. I'm an algo trader as well. I build my own automation systems and everything else like that. I just like being able to talk trade with people. And while this vortex system is building out, or basically I'm starting to get some of the kinks out of this automation system as well. Uh, until I end up having that fully done and I feel very comfortable with it, I probably still will manual trade. But my automation system basically does all of this stuff, for everyone when it comes down to it. Reads the consolidation, reads the breakouts, makes a move from there. Uh, it just that obviously it just does it from and go from there. I use range bound profile to run my grid bots. So that means that obviously you love consolidation. That means that you don't like trending markets. You just love being able to stay inside of the grid, obviously. But just to kind of give you a little bit of a hint, let's see. This is the automation system for the FRVX system. Same thing that you end up seeing that we do manually, but this is the automation system of it. Still working out some of the kinks. I'm still trying to get some of the stuff done, and I'm going to end up turning it into a neural network, so I can be able to use the machine learning to be able to get everything ran off of it. Once I have all that stuff done, then I end up starting to talk about it a little bit more overall. But super proud about that. Super proud about all the systems that I end up creating. Most of them have done very well when it comes down to profit. Uh, Takes a little bit of time to obviously get them right, but uh, feel very good about them. So German 40, not interested for a move until the market breaks below 12,150. When it goes, then after that we'll go from there. Well, my algo uses a trend strategy and grid browse consolidation periods. Send me a private message. I would like to take a look at yours because yours reminds me of my FX Striker system. Uh, for the when the market's trending, it uses moving average crossovers to be able to go in and make the trade. When the market shows consolidation, uh, it ends up creating a box around that consolidation. It stops all trending modes and only trades consolidation rules off of that. It ends up going from there. So I'm kind of interested in being able to see what you have. So send me a message. Maybe we might be able to trace my idea, see, kind of compare and contrast on what you end up having and what I end up having. Uh, I think I went through every one. I think I went through every pair at this particular point. Uh, just to quickly review, uh, pound yen order at 159.50. Take a stop loss at 160.50. Take profit is at 157. Looking for that order. If it breaks out of this consolidation for the first time in a while, I think it's going to end up having a quick flash of a drop. That quick flash of a drop, we could be able to hopefully be able to manage off of it. I got 100 point trail off of this one. So once it hits the halfway point, then after that, it'd be break even and run because obviously I'm gonna fall asleep. US 30 have a pending order at 30,000. The only thing that I don't like having it at 30,000 the first two times that it's tapped is really done push right back up. But I got it. I got it at 30,000. Stop loss is at 30,130. Take profit is at 29,840. Euro United States dollar, please. Yeah, sure. I can almost talk through. I can almost talk through that one very quickly. Let me see. Forex Alpha, thanks for the follow, man. I appreciate that. Uh, let's see. Now it's 100. I'm not taking a trade, but if you want to be able to take the trade, if you're a one-to-one trader, 11,500 take profit. We end up being at 11,370. Stop loss on this one will be above the swing high at 11,527. And you can be able to go from there. What else? What else? What else? German 40, we don't have anything. Euro, United States dollar. So, um, very simply put, United States dollar index ended up breaking up to the upside on that overall move. So that means that the market is still considered to be bullish, but I think that there's a better chance of the market falling. Uh, Euro United States dollar is still trying to push down to the overall D extension. That D extension is expected to be at 93.43 for its overall movement. What's the weekly at? Let's see where the weekly is at. And why do I have this boxed out? Oh, okay, I know why. All right, so what is happening is this: market from a weekly perspective when it retraced, it only retraced to the 236. So that means that I'm looking at being able to get out right around 97.50 or 96.50 to the down. excuse me, excuse me, to the downside. Currently, the market's at 98.35. From a daily perspective, we can see that the market ended up breaking out of a consolidation box that we end up pushing up. I don't know when that was, but it just broke out earlier yesterday. So that means that obviously the trades that I'll be looking at would be sales. Currently right now, the market is in a little bit more consolidation at this particular point. If you're interested in being able to make a move, I would not trade it until the market breaks below 98.10. Once it breaks below 98.10, then after that, I'll go out to 96.50 to take profit. It's proven that, well, really hasn't proven all that much yet, but 98.10 will be the area where I'll look at being able to get in for being able to sales. Let it clear out, let everybody else fight. Once everybody else stops fighting and it finally ends up dropping past, you'll have your order ready to go once the market ends up going from there. Now, once again, the rule is always the same. If the market taps you in and then after that it starts pushing back up and it gets some way to the midpoint or it starts really pushing back up, get out of the trade, get back in, and then after that go from there. Don't waste precious capital when you know that the market's going to end up getting away from you. Stop loss on this one. Go above the swing high. Uh, Risk reward factors still work out. We can say 98. You can say 98 or 98.10, whichever one works for you when it comes down to that movement. With a take profit of obviously 96.50. Good risk, good reward. It's just gonna take a long goddamn long time, just because forex pairs take a long time, unfortunately. That's the reason why I stopped trading them. But risk is 97 or 100 pips, going after 160 pips. I don't like that risk versus reward. I don't like that risk versus reward. I'll probably end up looking at, if it truly does break out, I might, if you're going to be aggressive with it, uh, probably put it at the halfway point at 98.60. That gives you a better risk reward factor. You want to be conservative, keep it at 98.10. We end up going from there. All right, so there you go. You like what I end up doing, please make sure that you end up clicking on that boost button. Also, please make sure that you support what we end up doing on my other social media pages. The Discord channel, I am really pushing to be able to have that ready for Monday, and being able to push that out. We end up having a lot of exclusive content in there. We end up having a farm area where you have free access to material, resources and materials to be able to go into. And then after that, we end up having some premium stuff for a very small cost if you're interested when it comes down to being able to do that. So obviously, I end up giving that information out to everybody. We'll love everybody that ends up hopping inside of the chat to be able to take a look at what we have when it comes down to that Discord group once I have everything else done. Uh, Slowly but surely, what I'm going to end up doing is that I'm going to start migrating most of everything that we end up doing from a live stream perspective, especially the late nights, over to that channel to be able to give y'all that exclusive content, especially if that's something that y'all want to be able to rock with. I'm pushing for Monday. I've been working very hard on it, but I'm pushing for Monday. I already have a lot of material on there, but I want to make sure that it's right. Uh, I want to make sure when anybody pops in there, it's like, hey, you get a lot of great material, uh, a lot of material that you can be able to find on Some of the stuff that you can be able to find in books, some of the stuff you can be able to find on YouTube, a lot of ebooks, a lot of strategy stuff, uh, some free automation systems for the people that obviously get the premium stuff. If you want to be able to do that with some of the old, with some not old, but some of the other automation systems that I end up building out, giving y'all all those resources and access and stuff like that to be able to use to your advantage. But like always, make sure that you end up planning your trade your plan. Everyone, y'all end up having a good weekend. Once again, I will not do this tomorrow morning. Got a couple things that I have to be able to do. It would be nice to be able to sleep in for once before I end up going to work. And me and Gary to go from there. Everyone, it's always cool, man. To be able to see y'all around and be able to talk to y'all and everything else like that. And like always, hopefully you end up having a very good week when it comes down to trading. Manage your money. Have fun by being able to do it, and let's make sure that we end up becoming financially free together. Like always, everybody, take it easy.